Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Danielle, and this is finally Chilling Adventures of Sabrina Season 2, Episode 2, The Passion of Sabrina Spellman. Y'all like my little mole? Giving y'all Marilyn Monroe tease. I figured I have so many moles everywhere anyway. I might as well plop a little fake one up there somewhere. So, on the last episode, it ended with Wardwell summoning the Dark Lord because, she was just getting more and more signs that her position that the Dark Lord promised her is going to go to Sabrina. So she summons him and questions him about his plans for Sabrina. And he tells her Sabrina is going to be his prophet on earth. She's going to, throw open the gates of hell and all of that. And so Wardwell is trying to persuade him and get him to see, listen, you need to give me the position. She's half mortal and half of her, is more aligned with the light or what have you. It's more susceptible to the light path than the path of night. And so he got pissed off. LaClaw shot out, and he was like, okay, listen, let's make a bet. If Wardwell is right and she's more good than evil, then Wardwell gets to be queen of hell. But if Wardwell is wrong and he can get Sabrina to, go further and further down the path of night, then she not going to be the queen of hell. Sabrina is, and she can't question him about any of his decisions ever again. So they make their little bet. That night, the Dark Lord shows up in Sabrina's house and is like, I just want you to steal a pack of gum. That's it. So the next morning, Sabrina asks the family, once she tells them the Dark Lord visited me last night, and then ask them, has the Dark Lord ever visited them? Has he ever asked them to do anything? And they, don't really want to talk about it. And tell her, no matter what he asks, even if he asks her to murder somebody, she just got to go ahead and do it. Because Zelda's like, you may be surprised to learn, Sabrina, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. So Sabrina's like, okay, seems like I ain't got a choice. It's just a pack of gum. I'm gonna just go ahead and steal it. And Wardwell catches her and stops her and is like, do you need money? What's going on? This isn't like you. And you hear the Dark Lord growling in the background, mad, cause Wardwell scared Sabrina. She went on about her business and didn't take the pack of gum. So, while we got a play going on at the school, Romeo and Juliet, setting the stage for Harvey and Roz's little romance. The passion of the, not the passion of the Christ, but the passion of Lucifer, Morning Star, the Church of Night's answer to the Passion of the Christ, is being held at the Academy of Unseen Arts, and Blackwood then fired somebody, one of Zelda's many haters, because she getting too lippy for Blackwood, because he's making a bunch of changes. So he ends up putting Zelda in the position because she has the best addiction of anyone he knows. That tripped me out and reminded me of old Angela Lansbury and Nanny McPhee when she said, if it's one thing I will not tolerate, it's loose vowels. So, Roz and Harvey, like I said, they're playing Romeo and Juliet, and Harvey's like, are you okay with that? Because it's the kissing scene. And Roz is like, oh, sure, it's fine. Even though she has had her vision. And asks Harvey, have you talked to Sabrina? And Harvey's like, not really worried about Sabrina, but at the same time, he is, as you see later on. Now, the Dark Lord has just been whispering in Sabrina's ear ever since he visited her that night and trying to, persuade her to do little crazy stuff. Like, they watching Dorcas butcher the play. And the Dark Lord is like, this should be your part. And it could be if you just drop this little bag on her head. She's like, I'm not going to do it. And Zelda's like, who are you talking to? Okay, getting ahead of myself. So, like I said, one of Zelda's many haters starts inching a gargoyle off of the top of a balcony somewhere and drops it, almost dropping it on Zelda's head. So because of that, Zelda and Hilda cook up a little spell to get her together. What is it called? An earworm or earwig spell. They put a little worm in a doll's ear, and so that makes it so whatever she tells Shirley, she has to do. And so she starts talking shit to her later on, and Zelda's like, why don't you go jump off the balcony? And she starts singing the little song, and she walked right up to that balcony, was about to jump, and Zelda told her, stop. Y'all try me again, I'm not gonna stop her. She just gonna jump, and that's gonna be the end of y'all little friend and your shenanigans. So back at the rehearsal for the play, Sabrina and what's his name? Why can't I think of his name right? Nick. Sabrina and Nick are rehearsing lines, and Sabrina sees the Dark Lord. Something happened. He whispered in her ear, and she ended up choking on the daggone apple that she was eating. And the next thing she knows, she waking up hours later in her bedroom, and she tells Hilda, the Dark Lord that made me choke on the apple. And so Hilda goes ahead and shares her little experience with the Dark Lord with her, and was like, she thinks it was just the Dark Lord wanted to see whether she was willing to go through with whatever he asked. He didn't really care whether they did it or not. So Sabrina starts thinking, okay, I'm going to just go ahead and do it. So Sabrina ends up going back to Baxter High. Feels like she needs to spend some more time with her human friends. Harvey trying to make her jealous, saying all little slick shit, throwing shade and everything. And catch her up on things, and Sabrina and Theo end up meeting, catching up, and Sabrina gives Theo a cord for Billy, because they teasing her because she doesn't want to change in the locker room. They just all sit around and watch, waiting for the show. When she goes up in the boys' locker room, so Sabrina gives her a cord for Billy. It's like, okay, every time you put a knot in this, he'll trip, and that'll bruise his ego. So since Sabrina keep resisting the Dark Lord, he went ahead and put an old nasty evil scratch on her back, and it keep getting bigger and bigger the more she resists. So Wardwell tells her, just be good, resist, don't give in to the dark side. And the Dark Lord is in the daggone room somewhere in the shadow, just growling, mad. Okay, so Billy and Sabrina end up going to Dr. Cerberus's shop for some ice cream to go over their lines for the play, because since Sabrina's back at the school for a while, she's a part of the play, and Billy didn't have a partner. So Billy's saying all the things that basically the Dark Lord would say if he was there. and getting her riled up and pissed off. Like, look at Harvey and Roz over there all snuggled up and cozy. Ain't that your boyfriend? Like, ex, no, it's not my boyfriend anymore. But she getting steadily pissed off and knocks over Roz and Harvey's ice cream. And what was in there lurking in the bush, I believe, as usual. It's been a week or so since I actually watched this episode, but I have my notes, so I'm trying to remember, y'all. So,
Mommy, can I get the chips and juice I finished eating?
yeah, hang on. So, Thea finally get pissed off enough to use this cord. And Billy's coming down the steps, and she puts a knot in this cord, and he break his leg. Something wicked. Bone came out of his skin. It was terrible. But it humbled his ass. And eventually he ended up apologizing to her. Hopefully I'm not getting too ahead of myself, because I already watched the whole season. And, so, yeah. That might have been a part of this episode. Who cares? It's such an insignificant detail. Okay. Harvey and Sabrina. Or rather, Harvey has had enough of Sabrina. Because Harvey and Sabrina were making out, they miss each other. And Sabrina ends up seeing a big old scratch from the Dark Lord on his chest and, gets scared. He can't see it. So she's like, I can't do this. I don't want y'all to get hurt. I almost forgot what I am. I can't do this. And he's like, I don't care that you're a witch. You can't keep doing this. You can't keep going back and forth playing with my emotions. So, you know what? You right. This is it. You go your own way. I'm going to go my own way. So, Sabrina comes home upset. And then to add insult to injury, Salem is on the porch, foaming at the mouth, then vomiting. A little puddle beside him. Salem is dead. Okay? And the Dark Lord in the daggone pet cemetery. And like, you don't want to steal the gum? Now I need you to burn down Baxter High. And if you don't do this, I'm going to ask you to do something even worse. So, Sabrina's like, okay, if you do this, you'll take the scar from me. You'll take the scar for Harvey. You'll leave me alone. You'll bring Salem back. Yes. All of that. Now burn down Baxter High. So, she goes there. And Wardwell is lurking in the office with the Dark Lord. It's like, she ain't gonna do it. She not. She can't. She can't. No. Sabrina pouring the gas. She about to strike the match. The Dark Lord stop. It's like, that's all I needed to see. That's it. We square now. Shook. Wardwell is shook, y'all. So, Nick and Sabrina end up meeting up. I believe it's at, they go to Dorian Gray's room or something like that. Either way, they together and they talking. And Nick asked Sabrina, is she playing chicken with the Dark Lord? Oh, excuse me. It's in my eye. Some makeup, no doubt. And I can't really remember what else was what else was important about that scene with Nick and Sabrina. So, we switched to Wardwell cleaning off the Dark Lord hooves or hoof. I think he only got one. Or is it two? Either way, She wiping him down, giving him a old hoofer cure. Okay, not a pedicure, a hoofer cure. And the Dark Lord reminds Woodwell, like, listen, I always win. No, don't you ever question me again. And he brings Stolas back to life for, like, game well played. And then we end the show with Sabrina going into the shop and stealing a pack of gum anyway. And so it begins. She corrupted. And, oh yeah, that's what it was. Excuse me. Nick and Sabrina were in Dorian Gray's little men's club, whatever it was, because they were going to have some ice cream at Dr. Cerberus's, but ended up seeing Roz and Harvey, and they are all, cutesy tootsied up and snuggly wuzzlies. So they went on to Dorian Gray, and she's like, her scar's gone, everything's back to normal, and Dorian Gray is like, well, the scar on your soul hasn't gone anywhere, So, don't get too comfortable thinking you aren't going farther and farther down the path of night and farther away from your virtues and standards as the old Sabrina. As we can see by her stealing the gum. So that's it, you guys. Sorry for making y'all wait so long. We're going to try and pump these Chilling Adventures of Sabrina reviews and recaps out. And I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell, all that jazz. And stay tuned, guys. Bye.